So welcome back to another race day vlog, and today's the day of the Bourton 10K. And this is the second race that we're doing back to back to back. So last weekend it was the Alicante half marathon, next weekend is the Newport half marathon. This weekend, as I said, we are running the Bourton 10K. I'd love to say I'm really excited about this. I am absolutely not. I have done zero speed work this week. I have massive post-holiday blues from Alicante. I do not want to be in the UK. I want to be back in Spain. So this today should be interesting. So as you gathered, my mental game is not on point today. My wife gave me some incredible advice right now. She has come along to support me. I said I'm not ready to suffer today, and she said, well, you need to man the up because there's a lot of people out there that you're going to embarrass yourself in front of. So I guess that's some kind of motivation. I'll go through all my fueling and stuff when we get there. We're just heading on our way now. Just a quick update on the week. Since Alicante, absolutely zero speed work. So I've done a steady run. I think on the Wednesday I got back, 2 easy runs, and then I couldn't even be bothered to go out for my run on Friday because I just didn't feel particularly great. To be honest, I haven't felt great since getting off the plane. I felt a bit bunged up, bit sinusy, bit throaty. I felt better yesterday. I feel all right today, but yeah, I sacked off the run on Friday, did something yesterday, 45 minutes in strides, so we'll see how today goes. So we've made it, we are here. I am walking to get the bib from the school, which is where race collection is. The other thing I forgot to tell you on the way, just to compound my misery, is there's a storm today, can you believe it? So no rain, but a lot of strong winds once again. I seem to attract storms when I go to races. A bit gutted because obviously would love to really give it a good go here, but we've got 40-mile-an-hour winds. I can feel it picking up now. It's going to be, I'll explain when we get back to the car where I think it's going to hit us, but we'll test it out on the warm-up. Right, so back at the car, everything is done. You've probably picked up on the fact that my demeanour is not the best, and I've spoken to a few people this morning, and I'm sure they've picked up on it as well. But we're going to go out there and give it a good go. So I've got 25 minutes to the race start. I'm a bit behind on having my caffeine. I'm a bit sceptical about having this now. I'm going to have half of it, I think, because I'm 25 minutes out, so I just want to be a little bit careful. I've got my tried and tested half an hour out, but as I get closer to the race, I'm just getting a little bit nervous about it. So I'll wrap this chatting segment up now. I'm going to head out for a warm-up. Once again, the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3s are on foot. Anything else to say? I don't think so. It's bloody windy out there. We're going to get blown away. Let's just do our best and see what we can do. Okay, so just doing a quick warm-up, heading out of town, which is obviously where we're going to be going at the start. We have a headwind coming back in now. We have a tailwind, so if we're controlled on the way out, then we might be able to capitalise it on the way back, but I very much doubt that'll be the case. Right, mile easy. Let's do 2 minutes of tempo and some strides. Oh boy, it's windy out that way. Turning back now, let's do some strides. Meh, warm up done. I haven't even stopped the watch. Body is not feeling it today. We'll just do what we can today. I think Alicante's still in the legs. Good luck, bud.
Come on, Andy!
Well done, mate. Well done.
Come on, Andy! Last push, come on!
Well done, Andy. Well done. 33:11, not sure how I managed that. That was my second fastest 10k ever and a best 10k performance in well over a year. Since I ran 33:00 at this course 2 years ago, I haven't got close to that time at all. Haven't got close to it by 30 plus seconds. I think my quickest is 30 and 31 or 30 and 32 or something. So to be 30 and 11 today is crazy. 10th place as well, really happy with that.
Yeah. Even when I was up with Andy, I was like, oh, it's nowhere.
So there we go, we did it, second fastest 10k. I still can't believe it, to be honest, because I think to myself, 2 years ago I ran that 33:00, which I've been banging on about for ages, and I just haven't been able to get close, as I said earlier on. So to get that close, and that felt really good. Like, I didn't feel like I had a worldie of a performance, do you know what I mean? I didn't feel like it was an absolute blinder. My chest is hurting now, so I'm obviously still carrying something from the week. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. I can't quite believe it. The wind wasn't as bad as it was made out to be, but there were some really wicked sections which we'll go through in a second. Shout out to all the other YouTubers I saw there and everyone else there today. It was great to see so many of you and say hi, and I love it. I love doing these local races, seeing familiar faces racing with the same people. It just gets the competitive juices going. It completely lifted me out of that bad mood that I was in. I still feel miserable that I'm not in Spain, but you know, we won't go there. I'm happy. I'm really happy. Let's go through the race. As I said, a massive shout out to the other YouTubers. I was lucky enough to grab a coffee with them at the end. I will make sure I'll do my best to leave a link to everyone's channel in the description below, because there'll be a lot of videos for today. So I do encourage you to go and check those out. Let's go through the race. I'll pull up the splits now because I produced my fastest ever first mile split. I can't believe it. So what tends to happen with Bourton is you do 2 loops of the village. You like kind of loop, and then you slingshot out. I call it like a slingshot. And in that first mile, every single year, and for the majority of people, usually the first mile is the quickest. So we set off. I'd done my warm-up. The tempo felt rubbish, so I wasn't holding out much hope for today. I really didn't feel good. As you probably saw in that intro clip, I said, oh, I don't feel good today. Today's not going to be the day. But I set out, and I just pull up the mile split now. I split a 4, well, my Coros said 4:58 high. So Strava's rounded it up to 4:59. I've never run a 4-something mile in a race, ever. Doesn't matter what the race is, I've never, ever run one. But the thing is there was the lead group at the front, there was a very small group at the back, and then there was me and a couple of others, as you saw from that first intro clip, going round the village. And so what I said to those guys when we got out of that, when we started the second loop, I said, come on, let's get onto the back of them there. So I did my best, and I latched onto the back of it, and I thought, do you know what? And the reason I wanted to do that, even though it was obviously probably quite out of my realm of holding that pace, I thought, it's all bust. Give it a go, and you don't want to be out there fighting that wind on your own. You know the wind's going to be worse on the way out. If you get yourself into no man's land right now and you don't close that gap, the gap is very closable. If you don't do it now, you're going to regret it. So I went with it. I just threw caution to the wind, and I just surged for 10 meters to latch onto the back, and we came out of the village hanging onto the back of that pack. And I thought, okay, just basically now you're in a situation where your watch has just flashed up a 4:59, 4:58, you're in shock, but it feels okay. Just sit and hold it and just see what you can do. So we come out of the village, we do end up falling off the back of that pack slightly, but there were 4 or 5 of us there in our own little pack, and that was great because we were working together, talking to each other, saying, do you know what, I was running with a Western Tempo lad called Henry, who I've raced quite a lot. He's a great guy. We were chatting and he gave some sensible advice. I said, should we close that gap? And he was basically like, let's be sensible now, you know, conserve into the wind, and then we'll have something for the way back. And I thought, that's a bloody good idea. So we didn't then try and catch that lead pack. They were well above my realms of possibility, but we sat and we worked together really nicely. So we run out of the town, the wind is in our face, but it's not too bad at that point. We then make that turn, so we split a 5:19, what was my mile split, 5:19, and I'm like, okay, this is good. We make that turn, and then we go to the out and back. Now that's where the wind was probably at its worst. Again, it wasn't as horrific as it has been, but it was in our face. So we're working up there. The Stroud chap in the green vest, who, massive congrats to him. I think he dipped under 33. I've raced him a few times. He had a very strong race today. He went off to the front. We split the 3 mile mark, and I ran a 5:24, and I thought, well, that's okay. We're going into the wind. We're conserving here. We want to pick it up on the way back. And we're at the base of the hill now. We hit the 5k mark in 16:15. I like, holy moly, if you double that, you've run a 32:30. That is crazy. But we still, of course, got that hill. So we go up the hill. The Stroud chap puts a few meters on us, and I can tell at that point he's not going to slow down. So then I've got a choice. Do I go with him? I didn't feel like I could. Or do I just push to the front of the 3 of us that were left and just try and drag them up the hill, get to the turnaround and see what we got coming back? So that's what I did. Went to the front, got to the turnaround. By that point, the Stroud chap was too far ahead for me to even try and contemplate catching. Spun around the turnaround point, and then started coming down the other side. I really appreciate the amount of people that shouted my name at that point, because we go past everyone. It was amazing. I'm so grateful to all of you who did. If you're watching, thank you. Honestly, it was so cool. I tried to thank as many of you and wish you luck as well at the same time. And we come down there and I split a 5:23. And at that point I'm going, I should be picking it up more, but I'm not. Is this your limit? And I pretty much found my limit. Yes, we had the wind behind us, really, but I didn't necessarily feel it. But I was picking it up, and I was just doing my best. We get down to there, we turn, we make the turn back towards the village. And at that point, the wind hit us in the face. I thought, this is not in the script. This shouldn't be hitting us in the face. It didn't last for a long time, but for a good few hundred meters, we had that in our face. So that was frustrating. I did, however, then split a 5:21 coming back into the village, because there was I'm sure it was a Cheltenham Harriers chap. He ran past me. We chatted at the end. He went past me, and I just thought to myself, if I don't go with him, I'm going to completely fall off the wagon. So I did mine. I said to him at the end, you probably heard my breathing. It was horrific, but I just did my best to hang on. So I sat on the back of him for as much as I could. We got all the way back into the village. I split a 5:22 for the 6th mile, and that's when we were coming into the village. You do another loop of the village and then sprint to the finish. We're coming around the back, and I knew at that point I couldn't get the sub 33, but however, I knew at that point I could get a low 33, and my mind was blown. So we come round the corner and I just sprint to that line, and I managed to get a 33.11, and I still don't know how I did it. And a shout out to the Coros race predictor, because it's pretty much bang on at the moment. I think it predicted me to have a 33.06 right now, and I ran a 33.11. The wind played a factor today, but I mean, I'm pretty damn close. And that 5k time trial I did just before Alicante, again, I was very damn close to the prediction of that. So I feel really happy with that. I went into it, as you saw, the mood was low. I was peed off, frustrated that I'm still not in Spain right now, but we've come away with a really good result. I can't complain. We have one more race next weekend, the Newport Half, so I'm going to do my best to recover for that. Hopefully get a small workout done this week. That'd be great, and if I can, then we'll just attack Newport. I'm hoping to feel better for next weekend and really give it my all at Newport to see if we can get like a 73 something there. I know the course is tricky. I want a 72 this year, but I really want to see if I can get back into the 73s at Newport, and if I am, and I'll be really happy. So I'll leave it there, guys. I won't bore you any longer. I really appreciate your support. Thank you again to everyone that said hi today. Thank you to everyone who's watching the videos. I really, really appreciate it. If you missed last week's Alicante video, make sure you check it out up here. And if you want to see the build up to that race, I'll leave the video down there, and I'll see you guys over on one of those.